Kia ora. It is day 5, taking action with Nate. This is a new journey that I'm starting, which is a promise, a commitment to take action every day for the next 10 years as of May the 10th or whatever it was. So today is Wednesday. Today was super hectic. It's actually just 10:30 p.m. in the evening. I was actually lying in bed and my fiance reminded me. She goes, "Aren't you doing your video?" And I was like, oh shit. So I quickly come outside, just sit in the car to do a quick video to give an update on what's happened today. Today's been like a really hectic day. Basically, my fiance is graduating Friday, which is in 2 days time. She and a bunch of other people are graduating. She's done a degree in nursing, so it's been really hectic. I was meant to get up early this morning. Actually, today kind of started off a bit rough. I slept in, which is kind of a good thing because I had been having like 4 hours sleep the last couple of days, and I managed to get like 7 hours sleep this morning. I had a score of like 75, 77 on my Fitbit, which is pretty good because it was like 70, it was like 50-ish in the last couple of days prior to that. So I had a really good sleep. And then from like 8, 9 in the morning to now, 11 hours later, we've kind of been non-stop. Errands, doing stuff. I had a good breakfast this morning. I had breakfast. I had porridge. I had 90 grams of porridge, 150 mils of milk, 100 mils of water, and 100 grams of Greek yogurt, and 20 grams of peanut butter. And I added it to my Fitbit food tracker. So I've got like a custom recipe now. So every time I make that, I just select it once. And it worked out to be about 620 calories. And I think the macros were 59 carbs, 39 protein, and like 20 fat. Can't remember exactly. I might put it on the screen. And then I also had one fried egg and salmon on 2 slices of sourdough toast. And that was a complete guess because I didn't know the ingredients that she used and I couldn't find the nutritional information. So I just guessed whatever I could find on Fitbit. And basically that plus the porridge was about 1,000 calories. And then also had a coffee. So that was breakfast. For lunch, by the time it was lunch, we were still running around from place to place. So we ended up just going to Wendy's and got like a crispy chicken combo, medium. So yeah, I haven't calculated what that is, but I don't estimate it to be that much. And then for dinner, it was a late dinner. I had a chicken piccata leftovers on rice, and that was it. So yeah, haven't really eaten much today. I think I left my watch. I forgot my watch. It was charging, so I don't know accurately how much steps I did today, but it's around 5,000-6,000. I think it was more, just because we were on our feet, going from place to place, doing laundry, going shopping. We tried to pick up her graduation stuff, but it was so bad. It was like her friends were waiting 2.5 hours waiting in line just to collect their gown and stuff. It's ridiculous. So we're actually going tomorrow morning because we couldn't get it done today. So we're going to wake up early tomorrow and try to get that sorted. back to the video though. So the purpose of today, this morning actually, because it's another day that I do Darren Daily. If you don't know what Darren Daily is, Google it. Basically, it's free mentoring that you can get every day, every work day, where you get a video from Darren Hardy, who's the author of The Compound Effect. And this morning's video was a good one because it relates to, basically it was about motivation and how a lot of people get the sequence wrong. And what he was talking about was that people wait for motivation to take action and then get results. And then he described that the real sequence is to take action first, then you get results, and then you get motivation or inspiration. And then he mentioned a quote. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Ralph something Emerson, and it was like, they who do the thing get the power, they who do not do the thing do not have the power, or something like that. Basically, those who take action get the power, and those who wait for the power don't get the power. So another thing that he said was like, action precedes inspiration. Basically saying that you need to do something in order to get motivation. And then he reflected on himself and how he doesn't ever feel like working out, and he never liked working out, but he's been working out 4 times a week since he was like, what did he say? Since he was 18 years old or something. So he's been doing it for a long time. And he said the most important part that he does is he starts by taking a small action. And the small action that he does is he puts on his hat, and then he sorts out his phone, his podcast app, to what he's going to listen to at the gym. And then he puts on his shoes and goes outdoor, walks out the door, gets in the car. And then even when he gets to the gym, he starts stretching, and he still doesn't want to work out. And then he does a warm-up set, and he still doesn't want to work out. And then he gradually, does more and more. And eventually he's grunting and grinding away. So the message in the story was, whatever goal, whatever thing, whatever discipline, whatever habit, behavior that you're trying to cultivate in your life, whatever that you're struggling with, try to start with something really small. Maybe it's, putting your shoes on in the morning if you want to go for a walk. Maybe it's waking up early. Maybe it's brushing your teeth. I don't know. Just one tiny action that can help break inertia, and you continue to take little steps, and then eventually you're walking, and eventually you're working out, and eventually you're doing something. Another quote that he mentioned was some famous writer. I can't remember the name exactly, but he was interviewed, and he was asked the question from the media about how do you write, or how do you find inspiration to write, or do you wait for inspiration to strike? And his response was something along the lines of, I write when I'm inspired, and fortunately inspiration strikes every morning at 9 a.m. sharp. Basically, the moral of the story was that he just gets up and he writes every morning at 9 o'clock. And it's not that he waits for the inspiration to write, he just writes. So he's set up his workstation so that, he can sit down and he can write. And I think Darren also talked about, lots of other people that were successful, maybe other authors and writers, and all they did was just do the thing that they needed to do. And it was basically like discipline and building a habit. But it all started from one single tiny action. And then the call to action for the day was, think about one thing that you struggle to do, and what's one tiny action that you can take to break inertia and to continue down the path. So I thought that was really relevant today. I thought that was a great advice, and yeah. Today was a really busy day, so today's not like a normal day. Tomorrow's not going to be a normal day. Friday's not going to be a normal day. This whole week has basically been graduation prep. There's a lot involved in getting ready for that, so it hasn't been like a typical week for us or for me. But I think today was a useful day to reflect on, when you're busy and when you have a lot going on, it can be easy to follow the simple things. I mean, I almost forgot to do this video, so I'm grateful that she reminded me. And on that note, I've just hit the 10-minute mark. Look, if you're following along, great. Appreciate it. I'm doing these videos mainly for myself, just kind of like I said with the last series. Maybe I'll do an update on that, because I probably should explain what happened. Actually, tomorrow I have a meeting about my condition, so maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, if you're struggling and you're not sure what to do, just watch these videos, man, because I think every day I'm struggling, and I want you to know that you're not alone, and I'm trying to better myself every day. I'm trying to do as much as I can every day. I'm trying to keep my word. I'm trying to better my life, my health, every area in my life I'm trying to improve. And I want this to be proof that you don't have to wait for things to be right, and actually you shouldn't wait for things to be right. You should just try and keep going. And if you need inspiration, don't wait for inspiration, but if you need it, I'm here. If you think you're alone, you're not. Māori boy in Aotearoa, New Zealand, maybe halfway around the world in a different place, is also trying to better themselves. So if that's of any use or value to you, great. If it's not, sweet ass. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. So appreciate you if you're still watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.